2026. Where do we start? Do you want to go straight in? No lube, Clash, or
absolutely? Like
Clash
we're running the RDS.
Yes,
the RDS. Like I've been to the RDS. I actually competed in the RDS once with pro wrestling at a Comic-Con, and I couldn't get over how big it was then. And that was 2014. You know, so the fact that you're bringing powerlifting to this and what an event to bring to it in 2026 is monumental. Like even the roster alone is like star power through the roof for powerlifting. Yeah. Did you ever think when you were running like the SBD Cup and the first Abs Pro and all that back in 2018, you know, less than 10 years later, you'd be running a powerlifting competition in the RDS? Never.
No. And I've been to the venue once and I'm just like, yeah, this is where it's going to be. This is where you're going to bring up. Like everyone thought the August show was good. So we had a few marquees and screens, but I think this is going to be, you know, I'm not going to just be the complete product in year one, but yeah, like the venue, the way it's going to work, I just think it's going to be amazing. And if you're into powerlifting in Ireland and you're not at this event, I don't know what to say. Yeah. You're just a fool. Like, because I remember I said, can't remember when I said it, but you never know when the golden era is going to be done. And then we were gone out of HQ. I feel that, you know, we between the Irish PF and the AB series in Ireland, we're just ruined. Like we got, you know, nationals was great. It's one really good nationals. I just feel like this is such an iconic venue, and like as you said, the star power. You got John Hack, Dupree, all these massive lifters. You're crazy if you don't attend this event. But yeah, how are you feeling? You excited or?
Yeah, like I mean, it's very surreal. Like it's very full circle. Like it just, I don't know why the RDS stands out to me, because there's been a few things. Like I remember one of my first ever jobs when I finished in school is one of the lads, his dad had a delivery company, and they were doing like some entry exam for some college in the RDS. So we were there putting out all the tables. And then like a couple of years after that, then I mentioned I was back wrestling at Comic-Con. And that was the first time I was like, this could be serious. I'm a fucking star. Like I was heavyweight champion of a promotion at the time. We were there for 2 or 3 days, I can't remember. And the audience was huge. I was like, imagine like what this could be. Now those guys have gone on to do great things. So, and naturally when I got involved, like obviously I lifted at the series, but then when I started like doing things like commentary master, ceremonies, being kind of more involved in that way, I was like, this could be levels above that. Like it's just that we're over Christmas now. We've had the darts on all the time. Like still blows my mind when I look at that little stage with these fat motherfuckers throwing their little darts at this board, and everybody loves it. I'm like, what's stopping us from being that? So when you had announced that it was going to be Clash of Titans at the RDS, I think this is like the real start of the more the general population's awareness of not just powerlifting, but like specifically AB series powerlifting. Yeah. And I think that's like, it's exciting in a way that I think you can only really understand when you understand how groupthink works. Like, you know, people are either when you can say to your mom, oh yeah, I'm popping down to the RDS, and she goes, oh, is that for the powerlifting? Yeah. That's when you know it's going to be big. So like, I think this is that. It's that year one of what this is. And obviously it comes off, it's going to be one of those things, an overnight success in 10 years in the making. I think that's what this is. Like I haven't been down to see the venue yet, but like I know how the scale of the RDS. It's the first meet I think I've been genuinely excited to be at in a non-lifting or coaching capacity for that specific flight. Like the August meet was brilliant, but we just didn't know. We didn't know what was going to happen. Now it turned out to be class. Like probably like I think it was significantly better than I was expecting, and I think probably for you as well. I actually think it came together perfectly. But this one, it's very hard to find the words, but I think you're right. I think we're at that stage now where look, maybe you didn't want to come to a warehouse in the middle of Finglas. I don't know. Maybe you're from the south side. Your car's going to get robbed or something. But like now we're at that. This is the precipice of where this could become that thing that not only blows up the series, but also takes everything else up with it. Because that's how these things work. We've said it oftentimes. The high tide raises all ships. And regardless of how anybody feels about you or the series or anybody else, it has over a decade now been leading the charge in the cutting edge of trying to bring powerlifting to a much broader audience, make it a much more sustained, like for the top level stars, this could become a thing. They could get full-time sponsorships. They could get more visibility. We can get people on radio, get people on TV. I think that's the start. Let me actually ask you just real quick. Do you feel like every time you find your footing with the series of This Is What It Is, a new level comes? Like, you know, when we did like Red Cow, that was obviously like a big deal because it was the pro outside the gym.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we changed facilities, and then you did the outdoor venue. And then obviously we've taken it from like Scotland, you've done Reach Rumble, South Africa. So it's been like America and South Africa, what, 3 weeks apart? Something like that?
We did America, England, NEC Arena, and South Africa in like 5 weeks.
Like that, and now even domestically, it's one of the biggest venues in the biggest city on the island. Like it's
outside Sheffield's the biggest event in the world.
Yeah,
and that's not even
not for debate.
No, like it's a pure exhibition show. Amazing. This is like the second best. And however, like you've got fucking 10, 12 lads who can total 1,000, which Sheffield doesn't have. It has one person. So yeah, it's kind of, man, do you know what it is? Like it's a puzzle, and the last year it's clicked. Because all these, as I'm going back to what I said, like I tried trying new things. Like we could have just stayed in, up until April, we could just done what we'd done for years, just run comps in the gym. It took no risk. But you know what? We did Scotland, then we did Germany. That was okay. Lots of things could have been improved. Like, so it's a puzzle. It's like every time you run a comp somewhere and try something new, you find new pieces. And now I feel like we're getting to the stage where we can see what the puzzle is, and we're just like picking the last few pieces before it pops off. And as you said, this is not just about, it's way past me at this point. It's like, this is good for Irish powerlifting because it just, as I said in previous podcasts, like Ireland is really like a bit of a mecca of powerlifting, both on an IPF level. We're kind of, we have something amazing there. A lot of other countries envy what we've done on an Irish PF level and an untested pro level now. And it's a lot of the same people have crossed over. So I feel like we're nearly there. You know, and as you said, it's nearly 10 years in the making. Like Jesus, look at where we were like 9-10 years ago. So it's just trying to like, you know, get it over the finish line. I would love to see it as a professional contracts. It's just one big person to come in can just flick it. Or the way it's going, it'll get there anyway. So yeah, it's exciting. I just kind of, you know, really want it to go well. It's always nervous.
Yeah.
Big venues, big price tags, big risks.
That's where most people would crack.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have to go for it. Like you get one chance to try and do something, you know, big. And yeah, it's, you know, it's kind of make or break next year.
I think it's been make or break for the last 5 years in a row.
Yeah. I just think it's riskier though this year in some ways, you know. But I've never been more confident in where it's going. And the closure of the gym is just like made it clear where, right, this is the direction you have to go now. And like having a flagship event like the RDS is, is where you're going to break into the general population, not just the mainstream powerlifters. Yeah, and like I said, the venue is just amazing. I think if you're not excited about watching the strongest humans like ever to walk the planet, not just this year, like these are like 0.00001% of the strongest ever powerlifters ever to exist in your backyard in Dublin at an iconic venue. And if you're not excited about that, then you're just not really into the sport.
No,
that's my view anyway.
I think we've talked about that before, and I do think that's actually a true element of it. I do think there's people that are genuinely just into their own specific, either their participation in it or one flavor of it. But like that, like you say, I think there will come along these like even in sports people don't want, like whenever Katie Taylor fights, suddenly everyone in Ireland watches boxing. You know what I mean? Like even years ago when McGregor was starting in the UFC, people might have never watched UFC, but they'd watch McGregor. When when there's the darts over Christmas, as I mentioned, like it's another one people tune in for. Whenever there's like the rugby, the Six Nations or the World Cup, like these are things that people might not follow the sport all year round will tune in for. And I think Clash of Titans is that for this particular piece of powerlifting, this type of powerlifting. You might not watch the Abs Pro, you might not be keeping an eye on who's coming up in Division 1 and Division 2, and you might not necessarily care about the Pro-Am, or you might not know who every single person is. But Clash is that one in your backyard that's like, this is an important event, not just in powerlifting, but for the sport, like as it is perceived everywhere. And I think it needs to be, like, people need to see it for what it is. It's like, okay, the results of this matter. This is a big deal. This is the thing to pay attention to, particularly if you claim to be, as you said, a powerlifting fan in Ireland, particularly if you're in Dublin and it's only up the road. Like, it's something you'll regret missing. And I think that's the bigger thing. There's one thing to, not go and be, but no, I think people would regret not being at the first one of these. And
I agree.
We talked about it before, but like, I think it's one of these things that, yes, all it takes is one like big investor to come in, one big sponsor to come in, and this goes from here to here. But those people only get involved when something is proven, and I think you've seen it yourself. The series has leveled up, proven itself, you've shown you're not afraid to try innovation, try new things, bring new things to the platform, new presentations. And it's always, I think, for every single competition I've been to, even if we just use the Clash competitions as a benchmark or the Pro competitions as a benchmark, it's always a success, and it's always better than the year previous.
Yeah.
And if that trend continues, I think people will regret not saying they were there on day one.
As a spectator, what is the main difference watching guys move the 400 kilo plus weights than the rest of the sport?
I think it's probably the perspective I have is obviously different because I lift and I coach, but I don't think you can fully comprehend how insanely and mind-bogglingly strong these people are. And I think it can be written off on a million and one things, being enhanced or being untested or whatever. But no, that is the 100,000 hours of practice, day in and day out, commitment to pushing their bodies to the absolute limit, doing absolutely everything they can in terms of recovery, and in terms of their nutrition, their like whatever they can do to bring that 0.01% improvement to their performance. Deadlifting 300 kilos is something deadlifting 200 kilos is something the average person can't do, even with a year's worth of training in some cases. 300 kilos is a very small percentage of the population. So you can imagine some of these guys are squatting as well, over 400 kilos. There's cars that are just around that weight, little small cars that these guys can lift. That is insane. And I know we've got like for like with the likes of strongman events and things like that, but these guys are like, a barbell is one particular apparatus that anyone can go into the gym and touch. Yeah. Anyone can go and give it a go. And I'm not telling everyone to go and max out and load 400 kilos and give it a go, but consider how much it takes to squat 425, bench 275, pull 440. You've got these freaks. You've got people like Nick. You've got people like Fernando Arias, people like big Tobias Cunningham coming back. These numbers are... I think sometimes I get lost looking at all the reds go onto the bar, and it just looks like that amount of weight should not be movable by a human being.
Yeah.
And somehow some of the lads are going out here and not only moving it, some of them move it scarily easily. And I think it's something you can't really comprehend through a screen.
No.
You have to be sitting there and looking at it. And I know we've got the videos going in the background from commentating some of these events. I'm just watching the platform crew putting more and more and more plates on that bar and training with this equipment. It really hits home with, like, these aren't just strong people or strong powerlifters. There'll be very few people like this ever again in history, all in one place. And I think that's the unique thing about the series. The other thing is as well, I think you only recently were talking about this or posted about it on Instagram. There's such high stakes in these meets because, you know, you don't have, well, I got a medal for best bench or best deadlift or best squat, or I got best lifter, or I got, like, you know, the runner-up trophy, or I got this. There is one champion every year. And everyone's prep goes into becoming that one champion. And only one person walks away. So there's no, like, whatever, there's a podium and all that, but there's one champion and 9 losers.
No one remembers the losers
Nope.
of these events.
Nope.
They just remember the belt. And for me, it's the heavyweight title of, you know, pro powerlifting.
Yep.
One event, one roster, you gotta do then. As you said, the stakes are higher. The injuries that occur as well are just, you don't get it in other lifting. You know, we've seen Eamon tear biceps off the bone. We've seen quads detach, pecs ping off. It's scary.
Yeah,
like, people can get seriously hurt. Like, there was a lifter in South Africa whose knee completely went under him, and he detached both quads. All his cruciate ligaments are gone. He's literally been in a bed since, because he tried to, you know, squat 1,000 pounds. So even the stakes, it's not like, oh, I didn't get a PB. It's like they're putting their bodies through the potential of getting seriously hurt. So that, it's just different, isn't it?
I think people are more willing to take that risk when it means that much, though.
Yeah.
You know, like, look at because Zach Myers, champ last year, look what that did for, like, the amount of pressure he felt then coming into the pro.
Yeah. He looked a different person.
And this is what I mean. There's a massive degree of consequence to everything. You know, like, I mean, we saw, this is kind of like skipping on down the timeline a little bit, but like that, there was so much on Nicholas Dupree's shoulders coming into the Abs Pro last August. This August just gone. He'd come second, how many times? Like 3 or 4 times?
3.
Like, you know, there was so much riding on that meet. And I just don't think that is replicated anywhere else in powerlifting, you know? Like, seeing someone who has just been just about to grip that brass ring so many times and just slip at the last hurdle. And he was coming up against somebody who was pretty much unstoppable at that point. Zach Myers he'd been unstoppable at Rumble, he'd been unstoppable at Clash. And it just so happened, whatever way things came together on that day, you know, I think, if I remember correctly from commentary, Zach had been ahead for almost the entire meet until the deadlift.
Yeah.
And then Nick just played the perfect game. Well, you and Nick, I should say. This is the importance of a good handler, by the way. Knowing when to push and knowing when to just keep it, guarantee the attempt. Man, like, you just don't see those consequences of that drama almost anywhere else, because like that, like, there's number one and then there's nothing else. You know, you're either the winner or you're not. There's no other belt. There's no second belt. There's no second place belt. I
think even Sheffield doesn't have that, because they're all competing in their own lane against the records. Yeah. It's probably the one criticism I have of it, that they're not actually competing against each other. It's like preset records. So
to be,
you almost know, you almost kind of know what's going to happen. Like, go and watch it. You won't regret it. Anyone who goes and doesn't enjoy it, I'll give you a refund plus your money on top of that, what the ticket costs. So could even make money. That's how confident I am of just being different. Yeah. So on that, should we take 2 minutes and then go through the roster?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's the story? Back from our quick toilet break. We are rolling things forward then onto Clash of Titans.
Yes, Clash of Titans. We're going to go through the roster, talk about each lifter a little bit, and put some footage up. Obviously, we're going to start with the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Thick Meller. Nick was prepping for Clash of Titans 2 in April 2024, where he's prepping for Clash of Titans 3, I think. One of them, and he tore his pec pretty bad. We're going to put a picture up now.
Yeah. Boom.
There's the picture. So, yeah, you've obviously commentated Nick. Mm-hmm. He is a phenomenal squatter. Has never shown his best at abs.
No, I think he's always been an interesting character. I like his. There was a pro-am I think he took part in. He went against Lenny O'Sullivan, I think, and he was like, "Win this me, fuck off home." That was his whole buzz. So I always enjoyed that aspect of him. But like you say, I don't think he's obviously incredibly strong. That's undeniable.
100%.
But Jesus Christ, watching him lift sometimes is like you want to do it from behind, like your hands, like looking through the slits of your fingers, because sometimes it just looks absolute chaos when he's on the platform. Like you said, he's undeniably a phenomenal squatter. He's obviously incredibly strong. We can see it from the attempts he's putting up here. Like the weights he's shifting are huge. It's been a little while since he's been on the series platform, and I kind of think that's going to go one of two ways. I think he's either used the time away to become that bit more undeniable, to be able to take his incredible strength and do it to this very strict standard that we have, or he will have gone the other way and like this. No offense to him, but this me had a few soft calls for him. So I would hope he's not going to fall into that of like being selective with the soft meats that are going to give him the totals that he needs. That's my own personal opinion. I think if he can put up even another 1,000 at Clash in the RDS, that will make him legit to me. Like, don't get me wrong, who the fuck am I? Like, but I mean, he's earned his spot there in terms of his raw strength and power, but I'd love to be able to see him do it where it's undeniable, and he's definitely done it to the highest standard possible.
Yeah, like I think his squat and bench are pretty solid there. His deadlift, it was a bit soft, but Nick knows himself. Clash of Titans is a different animal. I think previously he was coming in and he had a lot of like pressure put on himself. Got to get his 1,000. He obviously did it here, picked up the injury. So I think that might actually work in his favor, because like no one expects him to do anything. Yeah. Because he's coming back from an injury. He's just going to...
Is this going to be his first meet since the injury? Wow, okay.
In a long time. Yeah. So this was his last meet where he obviously was looking strong.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what he brings.
Yeah.
It could be a 3 for 9 day, or you could see a 9 for 9 day with Nick. He's an exciting lifter. I like watching him. I mean, as you said, it's just organized chaos in many ways, but there's no denying he's one of the strongest powerlifters to come out of the UK. Mm-hmm. I do think he's got a lot more to give. Yeah. And I want to see him do it now on the abs platform.
I think a lot of it is about just putting it all together on the day. And I like you said, I think we've yet to see him do it. Hopefully this is the one. I'm glad he's choosing this one to be his first one back. What I love about this clip here, just as it starts, he's doing this big massive squat. Check it out. And then this girl's going ham on the Stairmaster. So like she must be looking down going, what the hell is going on in this gym? But I mean, I think this kind of stands to what we were talking about earlier. This is completely separate to Nick's lift, and I know you guys probably can't see the clip. You can check it out on Nick's page on Instagram.
Oh, we're going to overlay it.
Sick. Yeah. But like you look at this, and this is obviously it's a GPC Bristol. It's obviously like, I assume it's like an open meet. And then you look at this, and then you look at like the Abs Pro. You look at Clash of Titans. Like, this is the levels to this thing and the level of production we're bringing. Like, these guys are obviously working very hard to run a good platform. They've obviously moved the monolift on and off, so fair play to them. But it just goes to show you, this is like their local gym. We're running this in the RDS. So I just wanted to hit that home. And hopefully that girl on the Stairmaster wasn't traumatized watching this. But
maybe she's a powerlifter now.
Oh, but, maybe. She looks pretty impressed that he got the squat up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
She broke step. But yeah, no... Sorry, I have like COVID or something. I'm excited to see Nick come back. I really, really want him to not get injured, put together a decent total, even if that's not 1,000. And I have to say, Nick has supported the platform from day one. He comes over and watches, and he always stays behind for a beer. And he hasn't had his best day yet, but he's an abs lifter in my mind. And hope he does it. Hope he smashes it. So next on the list, we have from Finland. Yeah, we'll go Topius Cunningham.
Yeah. Pull him up there, pull up his IG. He's another guy that like came in, I believe it was the first Clash of Titans he was at. He was very impressive. He's quite an intense lifter, very, very serious, stoic guy, but very sound when you get talking to him. But yeah, extremely, extremely talented. Probably another guy that I think has put together some great performances. Has he put up 1,000 yet? He has put up his first official 1,000? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so Topius...
Jay, follow him back, will you?
Yeah. Whoops. I'm brutal at this shit. So Topius, another guy who did 1,000 kind of at a local meet. It was definitely in Finland anyway. And another beast. Like, you know, I think him and Nick will have a good head-to-head. Pretty sure he has the biggest total now. He's number 1 in Finland on total.
Do you know what I think's bizarre when we're talking about a lot of these people? Like Nick and Tobias now, these are two guys that are, in terms of nominations, down the end of the list. And these guys would win most meets in a lot of other places all over the world with these totals. You know, 1,000 kilos, 1,020. Like, the fact that we're talking about these as the bottom, like 9th and 10th nominated is ludicrous. That's outrageous to be able to say. A 415 squat, a 215 bench, and a 370 deadlift.
Yeah. So no issues there, I don't think, with depth. As you said, these are the strongest guys in the world. Topius is number 1 in Finland, and he could come last. So any other, maybe a tiny bit deeper there, but any other meet, he's winning. Yeah. Like some serious squat power there.
Yeah. How do you feel about the plate loading?
Not good, but just shows how strong he is.
They probably ran out of reds.
So there was his squat.
That's a different. Go back, and it's the little arrow on the side of the picture, then on the side of the video. There you go. Yeah. This is one I always find interesting with how people's bench press is, because a lot of other feds see that. I'd say like that's a pretty solid press command off the chest. But a lot of people I've seen getting taken aback by that when I do the series with the strict. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So overall, pretty good standards. I wouldn't expect anything less from.
Yeah, pretty clean last pull, the 370s. Probably another little bit there. Probably just that's what he wanted for the 1,000. Yeah, he's incredibly strong, Jack dude. Like I'd say again, I think for guys like him, coming to the series is like a way to legitimize himself. You know, because again, this is your local gym. You can see even presentation's probably a little bit better than the video we saw previously, but like still, it's your local federation probably, or your local meet. And then he's going to come and do it on the big stage. And I do think that plays into some of why we see either some people have more conservative days than we might have thought, or some people take bigger risks. It's like, this is when the eyes are on me. So I either want to prove that I can lock in a really good total at this level, or they're like, I want to take the risk and try to get up those positions. Because like coming third at the Clash of Titans would be like coming first almost anywhere else for some of these lads to say they're on that podium.
Yeah, no, I agree. And one lift can bring you from like 10th to top 5. Yeah. So the jumps these guys are taking, and everyone's pretty close. So Topius is nominated on 1,000 kilo as well, along with Nick. So now we're going to go on to, Giorgio Benes from Hungary. Not a lot on this guy, but he is Hungary's number 1 all-time total record holder.
Well, okay. Do we have him on? Do we have his Instagram? Does he have any training footage? I see this guy hasn't lifted with us before. No.
As I said, he's Hungary's all-time number 1 strongest powerlifter ever.
That's a big dude. 340 for 5.
Yeah, he actually sent me this the other day. So he's nominated with a 1042.5 total. Coming back, had a bit of a layoff. But like, just look at that, like 340 for 5. I don't think
Comfortable as well.
his legs are fucking huge.
He looks like a big lad though as well. I mean,
Yeah.
what rack height is that even?
Rack height 9,000.
Yeah, that's the Alico rack as well. It's a little different.
Walked out. Can tell he definitely got an IPF background. So yeah, this guy, another freak. He's one of my underdogs.
Yeah.
Just looking at him.
Well, we've seen it before. Remember, we've had lifters before come in and they've been relative unknowns, and then just blown the competition out of the water. Like, I mean, I had never heard of Fernando Arias before he came in and made huge moves with us.
Yeah, Fernando Boris.
Yeah, Boris as well. Yeah, he's another great example. Somebody who, like, I think many of us didn't really know how competitive he was going to be, and then he just came in and floored everybody. 350 block pull.
Grip, not a problem. Yeah, so he's competed at the Kern US Open in 2019. Coincidentally enough, I was actually at that event coaching in California. So, yeah, strong guy. Definitely on the radar for podium with a 1042. Considering I think 1055 won it this year. One of the lowest totals to win a Clash/Pro. And that's what happens when you miss lifts.
Yeah. I want to double check that. I think as well, Dave Richardson is currently on the shelf. You've seen a lot of the big names come in and kind of seize on those opportunities in those spots. Yeah, you're right. Zach Myers last year, Clash of Titans 3, 1057.5. Won the meet. Yeah,
so that just shows, Zach's done bigger numbers on an abs platform, never mind elsewhere. Nick's done bigger numbers, but it's different when you've got people breathing down your neck.
Yeah, well, you can only be who shows up. Yeah, because Dave had done 1085.
Yeah.
At the Clash in Clash 2, so bigger totals.
Like John Hack didn't even total 1,000.
That's right, 990.
First time he hasn't totaled 1,000 in years. So even if you're the best powerlifter in the world, like,
do you remember some of the fallout from that where people were losing their reason about some of the calls on his squats and things like that? Listen, if the referees will happily red light John Hack, they'll red light anybody if they're not the standard.
So this guy is the strongest man in Poland all time. He's a very successful strongman. He has only done like 2 competitions. I'm not actually sure what event this was. WPC Poland. Yep. So not a little bit of a step up, I believe, from kind of a local gym. He's competed at Giants Live. Probably could have got held a little bit longer there, but he's competed at Giants Live. Another 1040 kilo total. So I think there's 4 or 5 guys, including John Hack, in and around the 1040 region. So if one of them lifters has a breakout, can add 20, 30, they're there, So yeah, pretty strong. What do you think, Ian?
Looks good. I do think I'd be concerned about some of his standards because this meet is back in June. Like, his squat looks damn solid. I'll give him that. But like you said, this deadlift, I'm not convinced he was at lockout for long enough to receive a down command. Let's just see here. Yeah, don't know if that was fully locked out. Don't know if the shoulders are fully back.
Yeah, I think the head judge was probably a tiny bit.
Yeah. The bench as well, you can't see the start of it, so it's hard to tell, like, where his elbow's fully locked out, was he
So WPC, they have no start command.
Oh, they just
They
unrack and
literally
go.
lift it out.
Okay.
You're out. You can be halfway down before the spotter gets out of the way. That catches some people off, just like the holds, you know.
Yeah, same with the press. I don't know if it was very, very long. But again, it looked comfortable. So, I mean, that kind of weight might be movable for him again. I think him having the class.
Yeah, like
that looks ridiculous.
This is fucking... Yeah. This guy, I don't think the theater is going to bother him. Because he's, like I said, he's competed all over the world. Strongman.
Man, look at the background. Look at those scenes. The forest up the mountain and all. That's class.
Yeah, we definitely need a castle or something one year. So, like, no, look at this. 200 for 9 with an axle bar is ridiculous.
Yeah, so we know his pressing power is no problem.
Not worried about the conditions, a crowd. I just don't see... I feel he's another dark horse, you know? He's new to powerlifting. He's only done two events and he's already totaled 1040.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
And that's the thing.
Look at him. He's a fucking mutant.
Yeah, he's a unit. I think for that, like the more meets he does, I think the better he'll get because strongman, again, is a very, very different way of demonstrating strength in the very strict conditions we have in powerlifting. So I think it's one of those things, as he gets more refined in his execution and his understanding of how to like best set up and things like that, I think he'll only get better. That's a strong guy. Yeah, I'd be on the lookout for him. What's his full name?
It is Oscar. I just know him as Big O. Oscar.
Big O.
So Oscar Zalkowski, I think.
Zialkowski.
You need to learn that one.
Yeah, great. So we keep rolling, then we're into the top 4 contenders then. So that's going to be...
We're going to go Carl Weedle next.
Oh, yeah. Carl's been with us before. He did his first 1,000 at abs. Yeah, I follow him. He's a very, very talented lifter. Actually, I'd forgotten he's doing this meet. He had a great day at Clash 3. He was on form because I remember I was talking to, I think it was myself and Delroy, and Del is quite familiar with him. And he had mentioned he was only back off an injury and wasn't really sure how he was going to do. And he played a blind every day.
Yeah, he's the youngest athlete on the roster. Hit his first 1,000 kilo at Clash of Titans. Mario's an amazing shot of him walking through the crowd. He recently totaled, I think, 10. He did a comp after this. He did a UK comp and he got up to 1022. He just missed a big deadlift for around 1040. So literally locked it out, but his grip went. So I think he's got the pull. I think that's going to be a massive advantage coming in.
Yeah, pretty cool. That's pretty comfortable 400.
And he's training on a Cerberus deadlift bar, so I know because he bought it off me. So I think this guy is... I wish he'd do fucking wraps. He's still chasing a Death Grip Derek's record. I think if he was in wraps, he'd actually have a chance to win.
So when he did that 1022 you mentioned, that was in sleeves. Wow.
Sleeves, yeah.
Okay.
So he is literally... And he's under 120. Yeah. So Carl's chasing a record. I don't agree with it personally.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to do Clash of Titans, you go in at your strongest. Because as I said in the story, you can always break a record. But, you know, this would be his best chance of probably winning ever right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I still think he's still capable, but why not give yourself the biggest advantage?
Well, I mean, even if we look at the top 3 totals, like John Hack is obviously nominated on, we'll get to John Hack in a moment, but he's nominated on 1043.5, but last Clash he only did 990. So who's to say that like Carl doesn't come in his sleeves and beats John Hack?
Well, he beat him last year, but imagine this, right? 1055 won Clash last year?
Or 1057.
Right. If he went 1057, he would have won on bodyweight.
Yeah.
So
it's telling,
we all know wraps can add 20, 30 kilos
Well, looking at his training footage, I think part of the reason he's not doing it is because he obviously trains by himself a good bit. So maybe he doesn't want to like wrap himself because his deadlift obviously makes up a massive amount of his total. So maybe he doesn't want to like screw up his grip or anything like that. Maybe it's his self wrapping.
I think maybe just he's not got experience in wraps, but either way, I do like Cal a lot. I think he's going to be a mainstay at Abs. He's already signed up to the pro.
Great.
I hope he just gets this record out the way, and then he can not worry about making weight and just get like actually worry about the total.
I do think that it's something like we've obviously touched off many times before. I think sometimes people become so tunnel vision on beating records that no one else cares about but them and the person they're going to beat, that they're hindering themselves, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, what do we know?
Well, look, it is what it is. So
he's
that's Carl Weedle.
He's a contender, yeah.
He is another all-time record holder, strongest man in Germany in powerlifting. And I think he's 28 or 26. So he's young in terms of heavyweight powerlifting. I'm excited to see him progress over the next year or two. I've been following him a while since he spotted and loaded in Germany. And he told me that day, I want to get on Clash. I said, you're not strong enough. Now he's one of the strongest men on the roster. So
you took it personally.
Yeah. And he earned the invite. You know, I'm not giving him out like fucking medals. But excited for Carl to see where he goes. Okay, we're going to go to another Abs mainstay, Big Lucas.
Yeah. I think most people, if they follow the series, remember him for two things. One is his ridiculously strong bench press, and the other is that he kisses the forehead of his handler before he walks down when he gets bars loaded.
So this is Lucas. He's actually one of the biggest humans I've ever met. He came third at Clash with 10-15.
Yeah.
He beat John Hack. He beat Justin Zottel. Good attempt selection. Went 7 out of 9.
Yeah. I think with the bench in particular, I think that was like, he probably risked up to the 270 because he'd already set that. He set that standard for himself previously. But if I remember correctly, he had been having some issues with his shoulder. Yeah. For this meet. But yeah, he's a really, really nice guy, and he's terrifying looking. He's terrifying when you look at him, but he's actually dead sound when you get talking to. Well, I mean, he doesn't speak a whole lot, but like he is dead sound.
He makes Nicholas Dupree look small.
Yeah,
which says
is
a lot.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't have the biggest deadlift, but has a good subtotal coming in. Uses a little bit too much back, in my opinion, but there's going to be a good battle between him and the other Polish lifter, Oscar. Yeah. Oscar's all-time number 1. Lucas was all-time number 1 until recently, so it's now they're meeting on a big stage, the biggest stage. So be interesting. Lucas has the experience. He's got better every year at Clash of Titans. Yeah. Oscar obviously has the experience with strongman, but can he do it? This will be his first Clash. So yeah, any thoughts on Lucas?
He's somebody I would like to see at that top level again. Like you said, he's lifted with us a couple of times now. He's improved every single time. I think at least on 2. I think the 2 meets I can remember him from standing out. He's been carrying an injury both times. I would like to see him come in relatively fresh and see what he can put together. I think breaking the 1,000 is like that. It's like one of those. It's like the 4-minute mile in running. Like now that it's been done, so many more people do, but also the people that have done it now can see that there's kilos past that point. You know, they can gain more ground. So I'd be interested to see what he does. I think if he plays his cards right and puts together his best day, he'll be on the podium.
Yeah, I think the experience will definitely carry him through.
Take back that number 1 Polish spot.
Next up, do you want to try and pronounce his name? Talha
Seaton?
Yeah, and I should know his name because
you talked to him.
He actually competed in England. Mario has footage of him just about missing 400 squat.
Okay.
and a 400 deadlift. So despite that, he still totaled 1025 in the NEC. It was a very fast-paced meet, and I think he is another outsider for podium. He's savage strong.
He's just, you can see even there from his pictures, he's just got that giant upper body. 400 for 6 on the trap bar.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous.
That's undeniable strength.
That's superhuman strength. Doesn't matter if it's straps. Like doing rep work with 400 is insane. Not a bother. Like,
yeah, nice control to the floor as well. Basically, like slow eccentric on the way down, getting the most out of each rep. Still isn't even looking hard for him.
No, he's just sticking to his plan. He probably could have done another fucking 4 there, easy. So this guy, I think again, he's going to be another long-term abs lifter. He loved the NEC. He nearly won. Gregory Pearson beat this guy just. That's what I was saying. A 17-year-old beat a guy with a 10.25 total. Like,
I think this
crazy.
meet's going to be more to his advantage, though, but given that it's 1 on total, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than coefficient. So this will probably stand to his strengths. Like, that's what I think one of the main factors you won't see here is people don't need to cut weight and things like that, you know? He can come in full, come in strong.
Animal.
Yeah.
It's great to see Turkey represented as well.
I was just about to say, yeah, it's that international. I remember back at one stage, and you'd look at an ab series meeting, it was cool if somebody from the UK was on this Irish lineup, and now like we don't even have an Irish representative at the clash this year.
Jake's fucking petting his lizards.
Yeah, he is.
Eamon's trying to get back, so unfortunately, it's we don't have anyone.
Yeah, at that level.
At this, like I said, this is the strongest human beings to walk the planet.
Do you think anyone will take a crack at Jake's platform record for the squat?
Everyone. It's like become a thing now. Has to go, man. How is it not being broke? Like, we had a guy do 11.25 total and still didn't break it.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
I think that speaks volumes, though, to Jake's commitment to being like the absolute best at that lift.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, right. We're going to move on. Who do you want to hit next? We have John Hack, Justin Zottel, Nicholas Dupree.
Have we done Jurgo Biniz?
Yep, he is the #1 Hungarian guy.
John Hack would be the right call, I reckon.
So I'm going to get John Hack's 260 bench up.
Yeah.
Which is the most he's benched in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's bench pressing more than Nick. And I think this is the lift that could potentially give him a win if he has the perfect day. This is an RP I nearly died. However, he did 250, I think, the week before, and it was kind of not too far off, the same RP. Man, I said it from day one. John Hack putting on 10 kilograms, 24, 25 pounds, whatever it is going to be a different animal. I really feel like he's an underdog. He's got to watch his head coming up.
It's funny to say that, though, isn't it? John Hack being an underdog.
Yeah. Well, that just speaks character to John Hack. He's like actively seeking competition where he's an underdog. Whereas some other lifters who proclaim to be the best in the world actively avoid it. So I really think he's not. I think he's going to be like top 2, 3.
Well, if I remember correctly, he had done a little bit of a weight cut into Clash last year.
Again, he was kind of still had the record mentality. And yeah, you just can't do that at Clash.
Do you think he was surprised?
Probably. I wouldn't say surprised, but I don't know. Like, my opinion is like like especially HQ Clash, like you can't prepare for it. It's just different.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like John's lifted in the biggest events in the world, bigger crowds, but the the pace, like he's never.
They talked about it recently on Under the Bar with Justin Zottel was talking about
Yeah,
it.
it's relentless. Everyone says the pace. I don't even think that affected John because I've literally seen him lift the IPF, but I just think the cut didn't go to plan as well with the IV and stuff, and like Clash, you just one missed lift, which was I think he had his squat red lighted and he missed his last deadlift.
Yeah,
that took him off the podium, potentially winning.
I do think. I would wonder, just because we've seen it with some of the other lifters and we see it all over the world, like John Hack is basically the closest thing that like they've got to like a powerlifting celebrity now in parts of the States, you know. I would wonder if there's been meets where, I'm not accusing John Hack of squatting high anywhere now or anything like that, but I wonder if there's like, if it was just that, could be in, could be out, it's on that borderline and he's been given it and it just got comfortable hitting that standard. And then maybe that was what cost him that squat. I'm just pontificating on what the idea could be, because John Hack was definitely someone last year or this year, I suppose, back in April. I was expecting to potentially win, and to not even he wasn't even on the podium. Like that's ridiculous.
Well, one lift cost him podium basically.
Yeah, but it's that you got to think about like the level of experience he has and how well traveled he is. I would wonder. Well, one thing I'm happy to see is that he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go do it again. Got to do it better.
Not only that, he's training on Cerberus bars, same as what we use, which they are a little bit different. He's like, okay, I'm coming in bigger now. I'm done, and yeah, he could easily go and do a meet somewhere, win, not have the pressure, but he's like, fuck this. I think he's definitely in contention to win. I think he's going to be Nick's biggest competition. Nick's the pre-comp favorite. We'll talk about Justin Zottel next, but I'm excited to see where John goes.
I'm happy he's coming back again and it wasn't a one and done. Yeah,
no, I've got to know John a little bit better since the comp, and he's actually like a genuinely top guy and a GOAT, and he just isn't afraid of competition. So whatever he puts up, like the fact that he's just coming back bigger, stronger, hairier.
Yeah.
Got his hair transplant. And I'm excited. I think if he gets all 3 squats and he can bench 260, he's going to be sniffing around, and Nick has to execute.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we want. We don't want a one-horse race.
No.
Imagine John Hack gets, 1070, 1080 total wins Clash of Titans. When
that's a bit of conflict of interest for you, no? With Nick's coach.
No, it is, but I want Nick to go close to 1100, and I want him to beat the best versions of people. So I always have to separate myself as a promoter and a coach. For a promoter, I want the best person to win, and I want it to be an absolute show like we've had on so many years. I've been on more losing one-to-ones than winning, but it's still amazing, you know? So I'm sure Nick's kind of the same mentality. We want to beat the best at their best. So, yeah. Any thoughts on Hack?
He's one of the first names I knew in powerlifting once I got into it. So it was bizarre seeing him lift at the series, to be honest, when he did. I thought when him and Andy came over, it was similar to Dan Bell. I thought it was like this cool moment of like a big guest appearance, but that's all it would be, and we wouldn't see him again. If I'm not mistaken, it was he hasn't lifted outside the States in a long time, or had he even lifted?
That's his first time. Yeah.
Like these were the things that stood out to me. So like, I knew then, because he hadn't been on the platform. Like, I don't know the guy. I don't know what he thought. I know he obviously has a lot of sponsors, makes money. I was like, maybe it's not worth it to him to come over and not podium at a meet here when he can do more for his sponsors and better optics business wise to go win some meet, an 8-hour drive away than fly to Europe. But the fact that he's coming back to do it again and like has committed to not only lifting here, but like I said, coming in bigger, coming in stronger. Lifting on as you see here, he's on the Cerberus squat bar. Like, that speaks volumes to how
he still, despite all the years he's doing this, he still has that competitive spirit in him that he's not just doing this to appease his sponsors or whatever, or to like just like do another like appearance or make some money. He wants to win. He's coming to win.
Yeah, and I think the reason why he traveled is like there hasn't been like in Europe, like what has there been in the last 10 years competition wise for him? There's nothing. All the big events were in the States, the money, the prestige. So Abs kind of has pulled the likes of Dan Bell. He never traveled. John Hack never traveled. All these American boys are coming over now because they want some of the smoke. And yeah, I'm already talking to John about 2027. So I do think he's going to be a bit of a mainstay.
I also like that he edits in the robot at the end of his video for some reason.
The what?
Look, what's this? What is this?
Oh, yeah. Fucking Terminator.
Yeah.
Is it Terminator? No.
No. Hell yeah.
Yeah, his editing skills are pretty good as well. Yeah. But yeah, John Hack, he's literally, he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of powerlifting. Him, Ed, they're the first two names you think of. And the guy does put on a lot of strength in the last few weeks quickly. So,
I love it. I think it like, it's one of those things. Seeing these lifters on this platform, I think, and being willing to come and do it again, I love it, man. It's great, and it's be cool to have him back over now that he's done it once. We can see what he's really made of now on Valentine's Day.
Everyone seems to do better on their second and third appearance as well.
Pull up Justin Zottel. Now this is when I'm interested. Also, Mario, if you don't mind, just get that screen cap of John Hack on the air runner with the Easter Bunny ears on. Just throw that up there when we're pulling this up. This guy impressed the hell out of me when he came over. He really, really impressed me when he came over last year. Obviously didn't have his best day ever, but Jesus Christ, what a massive degree of intensity he brings to the platform. Some of the coolest, like, ambient moments in the recap videos are just his super intense, like, whites of his eyes stare. And like you see, he's like a normal dude, like talking about lifting, I guess. But yeah,
Justin's eyes literally rape you.
Yeah,
he's a fucking different person when he gets in the zone. I seen the video of this, the 420 squat. Probably one of the fastest 420s I've ever seen. He did pick up an injury though, so he is gonna still come to Clash of Titans and see what he can put up. So it's a bit of a shame because he was on for a massive squat. I think he could have been. He's already squatted 1,000 pounds in the animal cage. I think he would have had a good crack at it. What a place that would have, you're still not completely out, but what a venue, an event to be the first man to squat 1,000 pounds at abs. But so yeah, as they say, setbacks make comebacks. I do think he's still in the game.
Yeah.
And I know he's not the only person carrying niggles and injuries on the roster coming into this event, because you're squatting 400 plus, you're gonna potentially tear shit. Yeah, you've seen him lift now. I've seen him lift at the Rumble, and I can see the gradual improvement or the improvements.
Yeah.
So
my bad. I think as well. I think I just like that he's that intense and he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's I think, hell yeah. Look at that. Like, I just got the vibe with him when he came over. It was like, this guy is someone who would do really, really well here. He's got that exact, like, there's certain lifters that come over, like, I could see you doing great things at the series in the long run. Like, I knew it with Fernando. I knew it with Dave is kind of one of the architects of, like, becoming an abs lifter outside of Ireland. You could see it with Nick. You could see it with all, like, a lot of these big guys coming over, like Zach Myers as well as another guy who's really cool, Yeah, man.
But yeah, he squatted 1,000 in the cage. 99% sure. Again, if he doesn't do what he's capable this time, I know Justin's going to be back. He's hosting Abs Canada. He gets it.
Yeah.
He knows it. He can go and lift somewhere and get soft calls. I don't think that appeals to him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing what he can do over the next couple of years as well. I think he's gonna grow into the series as well. He's got a good team behind him.
Has there ever actually been a clash where the full roster of invites have made it to the meet?
No, I literally over invite because they just get injured. They're fucking, the toll they put on their body is just incredible. We've seen it with Jake.
Yeah.
Like, it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, hitting them numbers week after week.
Yeah.
Like, man, people, the tested people moan about being fucking tired, and they're like lifting literally half the load.
I think it's that, isn't it? You know, there's like, this is getting into the real meat and potatoes over here, but it's like you need so much exposure to that heavy weight to be able to handle those gigantic weights on the day, so you stay like conditioned. But you're dancing that fine line all the time of how much do I need to take to stay conditioned to these massive weights, but also not overextend and then potentially fuck myself up or push myself into where I'm carrying so much extra like stress that I'm setting myself up for failure next week or worse. Like, we've seen it at the meets. Like, you had that catastrophic injury in South Africa. We've seen even this roster, like 3 names off that roster already are no longer participating due to injury.
Yeah.
And I think it's the closer you fly to the sun in terms of lifting these weights that like essentially less than 100 people else on the planet are probably doing, to, you know, being bedbound for 6 months. That's a very fine line. And you're gonna have to walk it very, very cautiously. And I think that's where like good coaching comes in, good recovery, good training, load management. I think now that you've brought him up, Big Nick's probably one of the few people I've seen, despite maybe picking up niggles and aches and pains and minor injuries here and there, he's managed to navigate things really well.
Yeah, so
Fingers crossed.
like Nick's training is a lot more sub-maximal since we started working together. He's not chasing top-end RPs as much, although he still picked up niggles. And yeah, just the weights act differently. They just hit you differently. Like a 400 squat just acts differently on your back to say 350 or 300. So Nicholas, I think, is going to be a different animal now. I think the pig is off his back, or whatever that saying is. He's finally won a belt. Doesn't matter what happens going forward. He's won a belt.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think he's going to kind of push on.
Do you definitely think that element, though, is to his advantage? Do you think there's a risk he could take himself off the boil and be like, oh, I've done it once, and like mentally detach from the need to win?
Nah, like, so I've seen Dave, Fernando, Nick with belts, and it becomes a part of your identity. Like Dave was pretty devastated giving his belt back when we went to England. I thought he was going to cry, and you could just see what it meant. I think the fact that you have to give it back, it plays a massive psychological factor. Every time you look at it, it's like Nick's got his belt on in front of his TV in his house, laid across the TV. So every day he's looking at it. And like you look at it and go, oh man, I want to keep it. I want to keep it.
Yeah, because I suppose that's the benefit of letting the athlete take the physical belt home. It's like, that is yours until somebody beats you for it.
Yeah, or you get injured and can't defend it, or you vacate it like Zach did. But even with Zach, I feel it was the financial pressure, the pressure of lifting at abs. Like, you know, it's just different. The limelight's on you. So no, I think Nick now has that done, ticked off. He's already excited about the Abs Pro. He desperately wants that belt, and I think this is a really good opportunity for him to win a second belt. Because again, you can only beat who turns up.
Yep.
Like Fernando did a meet in December, pulled his pec.
Yeah.
Was that the best option if you wanted to win Clash? Probably not. but he had his own reasons.
We've seen that
for doing
before,
that
though,
meet.
from Fernando, where he's done so many meets in a row and he'll be picking up steam and then starts burning himself out. I'm actually pulling up his open powerlifting.
Yeah, like Fernando is an addict for competing. He loves to do comps. So, there's a few other reasons to do that comp. He did ask me, like, should I do it? And I was like, no, just do it. So yeah, Fernando, you could, like, Dave's injured. As you said, when you're pushing them weights for so long, like, it's a fine line.
Like Fernando, even if we look at it since Abs Pro 6, that was August last year, he's done 4 meets since then, which is a lot. Like this year alone, in 2025, he did abs in February in the US, he did September, and he's done December.
Yeah.
Like that's...
And now he's injured now, so he won't be doing anything till...
But like we talked about, it's all those, like September, December, like that's a very quick turnaround when you're totaling over 1,000 kilos.
Yeah.
That it takes time to get back up to those weights. It takes time to come back from those weights. And it looks like he just didn't give himself enough time.
Like I've chatted to him, we have a strategy for next year. But yeah, he needs to come back and beat the likes of Dave and Nick again. So yeah, Nicholas Dupree. I think he's the man to beat going into this. He's got he's Dublin's his second home. He's established. He's won a belt. He's fine tuning his own training. I think he'd be tough to beat. However, he has lost 3 times, and he still hasn't won Clash. I think he's lost Clash twice. So there will be some pressure on him. But I just feel it's different this time.
I think fair to say he'll be on the podium no matter what.
Yeah, bar bombing out, he'll be on the podium. I hope Justin Zottel can string together a performance that pushes him. And I would love to see it all come down, coming to that last pull.
That's the story of every meet, though. You don't want it to be decided before we get to the final pulls. It kind of takes some of the wind out of sails, and we did see that then at the Pro in August between himself and Zach Myers. It did come down to that last pull.
Yeah,
Zach had to miss and Nick had to succeed, and he did. So we know he can pull it together. We know he can play the game and just run his own race. And I think it just depends on can he do it again in February. Wonder how his fiance is going to feel about him lifting on Valentine's Day.
No, yeah, she's pretty supportive, to be fair. August was his first 9 for 9 meet as well. Yeah. So I think it's Nick's to lose, but I also don't feel it's going to be just a runaway. When is it ever a fucking runaway?
It's never. Everyone has to work for their spot. But I think what's interesting about this one is because you've got a good mix of people that are like experienced with this platform and this level, and you've got a good mix of newcomers or people that are carrying a lot of momentum. I think it's going to be pretty close between, like, if it's 10 guys, I think between first and 10th probably isn't going to be as big of a gap as we've seen in previous years.
No. I think there's going to be a 4, 5, maybe 6 lifter shootout for podium.
Yeah.
I'm confident of that.
I think that's what, and that kind of ties back to what we were talking about of why it's an unmissable event. Like, there is no clear winner here. There's a couple of favourites. There's a couple of people that are coming in with a bit more momentum, or a couple of people coming in with like Nick, carrying a title already, feeling good, looking strong. But like it's, John Hack's coming in a lot bigger. He's already experienced the series meet before. Justin Zottel isn't completely out of picture.
And you're going to get your one breakaway lifter.
Yeah.
There's going to be that one person who just adds 20, 30 kilo.
Yeah, I don't think Carl is a write-off, man. I think Carl could be up there.
I was probably a bit harsh on Carl, but...
It's just because of the records thing, isn't it? It's because of the
I just think I don't like cutting weight
into
this comp. I think it's stupid. There's way easier and better comps to like chase records where you can not potentially come podium, but that's for him to worry about. But yeah, there's gonna be one lifter that surprises everyone because it always happens. There's gonna be one lifter that underperforms, and there you go. You're gonna have multiple lifters squatting 400 plus, pulling 400 plus, benching 250 plus, someone's going to tear ligaments and muscles.
1 in 10 chance, lads.
You know, so it's going to be crazy.
Who's
And,
right? Give it to me then. Who are, for you, if you were to put money on it, who do you think is going to be the standout? Like the dark horse, who's going to be the lifter that exceeds expectations, and who do you think is going to be the person that is at the biggest risk of underperforming?
Shouldn't be. Oh, man.
I have no problem going first.
Yeah, you go first. Come on.
I'd love to see Lucas blow it out of the water and push hard for the podium. I think it could be Carl though. Will be the one to do it, and I would put money on Nick Mellor underperforming. That's not an offense to Nick. It's just he hasn't done 1,000 kilos at abs, and every time he's been here, he's put up good totals after a terrible performance. And that's no shade on him. This is something Hercules and I have talked about before. I think Nick, again, incredibly strong. Maybe I'll be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. But I think he will total less than 1,000.
I think Nick will do well to hit 1,000. I think the fact that it's his first meet back is going to be challenging.
Yep.
I also think it could be working in his favor.
Well, so that's what to clarify. When I say underperform, I mean do less of a total than their nominated total.
Yeah.
I think if it's going to be anyone, it'll be him. And I think the two guys who could surpass their nominated totals that maybe people aren't looking at are Carl and Lucas.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know why, but I think the Polish lifter Oscar could potentially be the dark horse. I just think he's new to the sport.
Yeah.
And fresh.
Yeah.
And like kind of got, I don't know. It's something about him. Maybe, I'm going to go with him as my dark horse. But what I'm going to say, the predicted podium for a lot of people is Nicholas, John, Justin. I don't believe that's going to be the podium.
Interesting.
So I just don't. I think two out of them three will hit the podium. I just don't think it's going to be like that though. I think I just looking at the mid pack, they're all around 1020 to 1040. I just think somebody's going to have one PB, which could be 10, 15 kilo. And there you go, you're right up there.
That'd be enough to break away.
So that's the margins. Even though the weights are big, the margins are small.
Well, you're not getting away from it. Who's going to underperform?
I don't want to say because fucking, man. I think if anyone would, it would be Nick. But I think it could be Nick based on his 1,000. But that's mainly because he's coming back from an injury.
Yeah.
But again, I think that could work in his favor because, exactly, no one expects anything. Whereas every time he came to Clash, he was like, I got to hit the come to abs. I got to hit the 1K. I got to hit the 1K. Where now he's like, he's done it and he's coming back from an injury. So even if he told 800, be like, he's come back from an injury and he's not posting any of his training either. So there's really no pressure.
Really. Maybe he's going to do like 1,100 and win.
I would love Nick Mellor to get on the podium. I think that would be fucking best ever. But I'm really rooting for Nick because he's just like most people will quit. But now he's back.
Yeah, you got to respect the people that not only come back from injury, but come back from injury to lift here.
Yeah.
Again, he can go for softball meets and get a couple of handy wins, but he's coming to where the competition is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Not only is the lineup huge, but I think it's going to be it'll be the greatest spectacle we've presented at the Ab Series, I think, in terms of what the audience can expect, both from whether they're watching on Lift Pass or ideally they're there in person.
Yeah.
I think it's similar to when we had Dan Bell. That room was electric, and I think you would be a fool to miss this.
Yeah, I agree. If you're not there, you're gay. Gay.
Poetically put, Jay.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it at that, shall we?
Yeah, it's been a good catching up with you over some of the bigger meets we have. We've obviously got an action-packed year, a million things we didn't even get to talk about yet.
Yeah.
The Grand Prix at the end of the year, the final. Maybe we have to come back and do another one.
And we'll get fucking The calendar's crazy. We've got Greece, we got South Africa. Where's IPF Worlds next year?
Dubai, I think.
Dubai. There you go. Might have to come out of retirement for that one. Find a rich investor.
Some oil prince.
Yeah, Dubai might be a good one, actually. Jesus, Dubai. Who's... I have to look into that one.
Do you know what? 1 second. I'm going to double check and verify that because I'm 99% sure. But yeah, no. And I think, like, look, we've talked about it before. We mentioned it earlier on when we were broadcasting. I think powerlifting just continues to level up every single year. And I think it's like if you got into this in 2023 or 2024, you do not realize the work that's been put into the background to take this from, a small meet that was happening with like 12 people in the audience, all looking at their phones unless their mate came out, to like people standing up and cheering as you walk down the middle of an aisle, and there's flamethrowers and there's, confetti falling from the ceiling and, a massive fire hazard, but like still an amazing, Dubai, open world, Dubai.
Just one other rivalry. We missed it. Full send Fred, Gregory Pearson.
Do you know, I wanted to talk about this, but only yesterday the news went up that Gregory Pearson suffered a pec injury. And tell us how he did that.
Ligament. Which is better. He was bench pressing 350 kilograms in a shirt, and basically collapsed as
a hilarious
as you
thing.
do.
Very by God, Gregory Pearson thing to be doing.
However, quote, Gregory Pearson said, was back training yesterday, already got a bench that makes Fred's look shit. Now time to build a squat that does the same. So there you go. I got questioned, why is Gregory Pearson on the Abs Pro roster this year? Well, he's proved himself in terms of numbers, and then you can't fucking buy that mentality. Like, lifters are so soft and pathetic and weak these days. They'll have a fucking constipation and they'll pull out of a meet like 4 or 5 weeks out. I had a lifter pull out the pro 7 weeks out because he got cold. Like, fuck off. You're meant to be an elite lifter. So this guy's in a fucking sling, torn his ligaments. He's 18 and he's like, well, I'm still coming and talking shit. So that's why he's probably the best teenage powerlifter of all time,
I think there's people like that in every sport, though. They're just undeniable. And they're like, he's outrageous. Obviously, people were laughing at a lot of the build up to him and Freddie there at the pro weekend. But it's that sort of thing, people will laugh and they'll mock until eventually you're so undeniable and you're so consistent, you're so good that they're going to start telling people they were at the meet that you were lifting at. And he's that person. Like, don't get me wrong, he is mental. Yeah. But we love it.
Fun fact about Gregory. He's done 2 pro-ams and a pro in abs. He has the highest attempt selection percentage in abs. He's gone 27 out of 27.
Wow.
He's not missed one lift on the abs platform. He did that at 17 against the best lifters in the world. So, like, that's crazy.
And I think
Fred's got work, man.
This was going to ask. Like, do you think he's in Fred's head now?
Nah. I think Fred's like, he's moved up weight. His training's looking really good. He's working with Dave, and I just think they've clicked. Yeah. I think Fred is going to be the strongest he's ever been. It's a bit annoying that Gregory picked up this injury, but like, sure, he hasn't had 7 weeks off training in probably like since he started powerlifting. So it could be a blessing.
Yeah, could come back better than ever.
So yeah, I still think it's going to be close. And if Fred wins, it just means we get to see
another round,
the third round in August.
Isn't it crazy though to see the evolution of what these things are? Because there was Jake versus Eamon, Jake versus Jesse. You had Luke versus Dave.
Then you had like Fernando coming in for the challenge, Zach coming in for the challenge, Nick coming in for the challenge. And we just see these rivalries continue to evolve. And now you've got these guys. I think these guys could be our headliners in the next 4 or 5 years.
I don't see how they won't be.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of them will win the Abs Pro in the next couple of years. Yeah, they're both kind of like Gregory's 18, Fred's like 23, 24. So it's just a matter of time. This is our next generation. And they're way ahead of where like the likes of Dave were, Luke Tolman were, and all them, you know. Not what, you know, they were ahead at that age. It was about staying injury free. And, you know, I know Freddie's got good people behind him.
Yeah.
Gregory, like, yeah, he may compete every week, but he's got his head screwed on. Like, he's making progress. The guy's got the best attempt selection in Abs history at 18, like 17. That's insane. That's a phenom. So I'm excited. This is going to be a good rival. This is going to be a good competition, and just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the carnage.
We will be live in the RDS February 14th, Valentine's Day. Make sure you're there. Tickets are available right now for the more premium seating, though there will be tickets available on the door. But don't be one of those people that waits and you end up standing down at the back of the hall not able to see anything. Get your ass on the pre-orders. Get those tickets now. If for some reason you're stricken with the plague, you break your leg, whatever happens, you can't be there, you'll be able to watch all the action on Lift Pass.